if you haven't noticed, I cut my hair. I was able to donate it, thankfully. I don't know if it was like 8 to 10 inches, but I will post a picture of how much I cut. So I'm glad I was able to donate it, and this is kind of like a nice change. So today it is the first day of fall, first of all, and I'm really excited. As you know, I love fall. I'm going to be celebrating fall today by baking a fall dessert. Come along with me and let's celebrate fall. So when I was trying to figure out what to bake for this video, I remember my friend had told me about these brown sugar Pop-Tart cookies, and I think of Gilmore Girls whenever I think of fall, and I also think of Pop-Tarts when I think of the Gilmore Girls. So I thought that this would be the perfect video to make this recipe. I've never made it before, and I will leave the link to everything down below. But obviously you want to beat your wet ingredients and then mix your dry ingredients, and then you add it into the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. And you do use cake flour for this recipe, and honestly it makes the texture of the cookie so much better. I didn't have exactly the amount of cake flour that I needed, but it still turned out perfect. I just mixed in regular flour, and then you're supposed to chill the dough for about an hour. While the dough is chilling, you want to make your brown sugar filling, which is basically just softened butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of flour, and this is the consistency you're going to want. And then you want to roll it out with about 1 heaping teaspoon of this filling, and roll it out into little balls, and you put it on the parchment paper for later. And then once your dough has chilled, you can bring it out, and then you can start to assemble the cookie. To assemble these cookies, you're going to want about 1/4 cup of a measuring cup, and you scoop that out and then break the dough in half. And then you flatten it out, put the brown sugar filling on, and then put the other half of the cookie on top. And then you pinch the sides and then kind of roll it out into a ball. And these cookies are going to be pretty big, which is the best part, honestly. And they do remind me a little bit of the crumble cookies. I've never had them, but I've heard that they're not that good. But I think when you see when it's done, it just really does look like it could be a crumble cookie. But this was so good. This is what it looks like fresh out of the oven. I did leave it in for a little longer because I think I made the cookies a little too big, but honestly I have no regrets. And once the cookies are cooled, you want to make the brown sugar glaze, which is powdered sugar, cinnamon, melted butter, and some milk. And this is what it's going to look like. And honestly, this is just the perfect touch for these cookies. It really does taste like homemade cookie Pop-Tarts, and this was such a good recipe. So if you are having a fun little fall night and want to make something a little different, not too pumpkin, this is definitely my recommendation. If you want to try it out, I'll leave the recipe down below. And I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you subscribe for more recipes in the future, and I hope to see you next time.